We are here and we are strong. Let's be counted as we move on. Make a difference, change lives as we tell our different stories. We are capable, beautiful. We are born to do great things. We're unstoppable, incredible, 'cause we're differently abled, differently.
It's that time of the week again. We're always glad to bring you stories that foster inclusivity and empowerment to persons with disabilities. This is Able Differently, and my name is Jane Theuri.
We're differently abled, differently.
Imagine spelling using sign language? Well, only those who have mastered the language will be able to understand and enjoy it. Take a look.
Different primary schools converged at the University of Nairobi to participate in a spelling bee competition.
Mostly we were told the contest will be based on curriculum. So together with what they have been learning, they have been practicing.
They're doing well. We have both hearing children and deaf children, and they're all competing the same way, although in different ages and different class levels.
This time we decided we are actually not going to take it as a job. We're going to do the sponsoring of the event because we recognize it's a very big space and we were really passionate about it. So that's why we did this.
Teachers have embraced the concept of integration in their syllabus and are very supportive of it. Elizabeth Jane, a teacher by profession, expounded.
I've already trained as a special teacher, that is a special education teacher. And in our school, we were lucky to have that love for the learners with special needs, and already we have started it, and so far we are doing so well.
The teachers' commitment towards this venture is truly admirable and worth it.
It wasn't difficult. In fact, I took a study leave because it was in me. I wanted to help learners with hearing impairment. In my community, there were so many learners who were deaf, but they could not even access education because the teachers were even fearing the kids. And then after that, I had to go door to door looking for those learners with hearing impairment. I took the learners to school. It was a big challenge because of the meals, because of the matron, because of everything. So sometimes I used to even take the kids to my home place. I slept with those kids for almost three weeks, taking care of them and going to school at around 9.
Sometimes I move to barazas and I talk to the community because I know there are learners, there are children who are at home, and maybe the parent doesn't want to bring them to school.
Even the parents themselves are not aware that the learners can be able to learn, because I could go to some families and then they tell me, how can you take a learner who cannot speak, cannot hear to school? How are you going to teach this learner? Are you sure this learner is going to write her name? Are you sure even this learner will go even get a job?
When a learner comes to school and she's 12 years, you know you cannot place him in ECD. So we started by teaching the learner on the sign language, and then we have to move him. Even one term, the second term, we move one term to us is a year, another term is a year. Now the learner is in grade 3. So it's really a big challenge when the parents stay with the children and they bring them when they are too late.
I have a learner who was brought to PP1 with 17 years, 17 good years. I taught the learner in PP1 1 week, PP2 another week, and then the third week I took the learner to grade 1. She's now 20 and she's in grade 4. How I wish this learner could have joined the school the right time, because we have matrons who can take good care of the learners, even if they are very young. I have a learner who is 4 years and she is in PP1 and is doing very well.
We spoke to one of the parents, Judy Kihumba, who is a great example of integration. She made a deliberate choice to introduce sign language to her children at a tender age.
My firstborn, who is 9 years, is the one whom I trained first. And how I trained her is when I gave birth to her small sister, You know that maternity, the period where you really want to engage your child, that lest she forgets you are there for her as well. So I kept our engagement was through sign language. I would train her sign language. And because I went through postpartum depression, one way of keeping me sober was through sign language. So that's how she picked sign language. And she's in a forum where they do sign language on weekly basis. And she's good. I would say she's good in her signing. And now through that, she has embraced the sign language in the house, of course, because her sister is coming up and she trains her. And now I've taken it as a role as a mother to train them. We have a lesson for sign language. But every day we are using sign language in my house because we live with a deaf person in the house.
She strongly believes that learning sign language is an added advantage for the children.
When you introduce something new when they are younger, it's better because they understand it better, they perfect it, and they grow with it. One thing I know, my children may take different career paths, and I know in their career world, they will know about the deaf people. They will encourage other deaf people to join the career and they will understand them because already there's somebody who understands them.
The founder of Sign Language is Cool shared with us how her organization was born.
My background is in communications, and at some point in life when I was studying in the university, I saw people around Kencom, communicating in sign language. And I actually stood to watch what is this that was happening. And the minute I looked at them, my heart was just filled with, I actually want to know what it is that they are talking about. And believe you me, within a week or two, I had already found a school. With time, it really got into my system. And SLIC actually now came out from there to promote sign language because I realized not many people, and especially the hearing, who know sign language. Because most of the time, the deaf community, you only find themselves alone. But when you have the language, you become part and parcel of them.
Diana's first interaction with the deaf world was through adults, yet her heart went all out to the deaf children.
I love children. Let me just start from there. And I realized and thought to myself, these are adults that I'm interacting with. What about the child? How is this child growing in a community whereby just hearing people are surrounding, including the family unit? And in my research, I found out not many family units that have deaf child know the language. They actually have the home language. And if that child goes to school, they find a different language altogether in terms of signing. So when this child goes to school, you expect them to come back home with assignments. Who will help this child? Most deaf children, their literacy and comprehension is a bit wanting. So we really want to improve that by such platforms as this, Sign Language Spelling Bee. And so that it doesn't become just them, we bring in the hearing child that we are encouraging them to learn for the sake of this child. Now, that is inclusion.
To achieve their mission, SLIC has ensured that they package their campaign so well that they easily capture the children's interest.
Right now it's a national language, but nothing much is being done. But we are there to promote it and let people know about it. And for us, we promote it as a cool language. That's why sign language is cool. So we want to bring all the coolness of sign language.
It is like the way I can speak to you in English now or Swahili, I should be able to sign. I wish I was taught this in school, like the way I learned how to speak. Now it would be so easy for me to communicate with these children, have even a greater time. I feel this should be part of the curriculum like every other subject, and it should go faster. That is why with organizations like SLIC Hub and ADC, we're really trying to fast forward it. When we are doing our websites, our softwares, when we are doing the branding and graphics design, we keep that in mind so that we play our part in integrating this for them, because they also need to understand, they also need to know the stories.
With the intention of bringing on board hearing school-going children, SLIC's approach will ensure all children are beneficiaries of sign language.
SLIC clubs are taken into regular schools, whereby if we explain, because you have to do a lot of explaining why sign language is important. Because note number one, the mindset, we are dealing with a mindset that is comfortable to where they are, so introducing something else to do with disability is a bit wanting, so it's a bit hesitant. So we really try to educate and make them aware of what sign language does. Because of this now, we initiate SLIC clubs in such schools. However, there are those schools, very few though, that have taken it as a lesson. But now clubs would start the journey.
In our school, we've started a club which teaches sign language, letters of the alphabet, numbers, signing simple sentences and even words. So at least they can even take that out after school to the community.
With such a great turnout, they are looking forward to more engagements in the near future.
This is what I would want to ask the government, is we need more support for the awareness of sign language. And if such organization as us partner, and especially for the public schools, it would be a very big win, because that's where we have so many children. And if we target there and we partner with them, or they help us on how to do that, not the how, the coming together and going the journey together, would be a very big impact.
We may not be living with someone with disability, but they are part of us. Even businesses themselves, our clients are not only people like us, they are people with disabilities.
As parents, we keep introducing our children to very different activities, different programs, because we want the best for our children. And one of the greatest gifts we can give to our children is allow them to learn sign language. Reason being, the deaf people most of the times are left out in so many other things apart from just schoolwork and even social life. Like my children now can have friends who are deaf and they can flow very well with them because they already know the language. For that reason, your children other parents out there, it's good to introduce their children to the sign language to allow them also to feel the world of the deaf people.
Sign language is cool, right? Let's take a break. Don't go too far.
We're differently abled, differently.